different style. Eric Bishop, you talk about Eric, who, he's doing what he's doing. And you said if he would have continued, at one point you guys are competing. Those guys are about to lose, bankruptcy, all this stuff. What is the biggest difference between Eric and the way Vince led and marketed and told story? What was the difference?
Well, I think more than anything, and this was great, when Bischoff was running WCW, even when we were doing great, it was constant conflict with the office. Meaning like to Turner people, who owned by Ted Turner, not Ted, but their people looked down at wrestling. And when Vince was fighting for his life, his whole company is a wrestling superstars. He took away the word wrestling, whatever. Sports entertainers. It's his company. It's his lifeline. It's his legacy. It's everything. And Eric didn't have that. If he could have been doing it on his own, who knows what would have happened. But when you work in the corporate world, you've been all through that, and it's so hard. And then there's the jealousy thing, and all of that. When it's your company and it's your brand, Vince. And Vince is really the one with Hulk that changed the whole format.
By the way, you know who gets a lot of credit for that story you just told? Dana White, because Dana is only a 10% owner of the company. And Dana was able to work, politics, WME, two owners came, they bought it for $2 million. He got 10%, and he was still able to move it up, even though it's not his company. He's only a 10% guy of the company. It's not like he's 51%. There's a difference between Dana and Vince, but Dana still was able to pull off the product. Which product, to the audience that doesn't, I'm going to show something here on the internet I want these guys to see on YouTube, but which one do you think UFC today's surpassed the audience and the eyeballs that wrestling gets, or do you think wrestling is still ahead of UFC?
I think the UFC would be bigger at this point because I think it's very cyclical. Wrestling it's up and it's down, and it's really like it's harder now to really understand how many people are watching. And to give you an example, and this was genius. So everybody thought it was like, oh God, what a waste of time. WWE Network, they're losing money. They're this, they're that, and everything. Well, I guess it was 2 years ago, Vince leased, not sold, but leased the network to Peacock for $1 billion for 5 years. Leased. They don't own shit. They are using, because what is the most important thing on any, whether it's Paramount, Peacock, content. 1,000%. Well, now we've got a ton of different shows. It looked like when Vince was going to, WWF was going to get traded to WWE. Oh my God, they've ruined his brand, and they spent all these years, and Vince fought for it, didn't get it. Best thing ever happened to him. And this, I'll use an example of this in a second. But so many times, what looks like the worst thing to ever happen to you can be the best.
If you enjoyed this short clip, click over here to watch another short clip. And if you want to watch the entire episode, the entire podcast, click here.